This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. So let's go ahead and get right into this. This morning, I had a flurry of DMs of the Dave of the day who, after pondering this theory, he can no longer risk holding XRP. As of tonight, I've sold all my XRP. This theory makes too much sense. I can't ignore the fact that everything Ripple is doing looks to be leading up to this outcome. I'll buy Ripple IPO instead. Listen, first of all, everybody's got a right to think whatever they want. I'm not here to change anybody's mind, and this is certainly not financial advice. But I did look at this, and I did go through it, and I think Mickey B said it pretty directly. This is a story, not a theory. Maybe shallow-minded will fall for a conspiracy theory, but if you understand how the tech works, it's honestly laughable. No offense. Waste your time. Don't you waste your time with this instead of researching the facts. And there are quite a few holes in this, but one thing I would just simply say that if you do go down into this and you take a look at this, just keep in mind that, for one, it suggests here throughout this theory that you could mint $10 trillion worth of USD on the ledger without actually having the reserve. So things fall apart pretty quickly for me after that. And again, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. Maybe there's some good points inside of this that people want to hold on to. Maybe there's some things that are valid, but just know that this is going around. And, you know, a lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on it. And for me, although I can appreciate the effort the person has put into it, it doesn't work for me. And I'm not going to sit here and take it apart piece by piece, other than, like I said, you know, you cannot put anything on the ledger without having a reserve or the collateralization for it. So that's a problem right there. So things start falling apart pretty quickly from there. At any rate, let's move on to some other great news that we do know about, which is RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia. Reserve Bank of Australia, we are partnering with the Commonwealth Bank, National Australia Bank, Perpetual and Consensus Software to explore the potential use and implications of wholesale form of central bank digital currency using distributed ledger technology. Boy, things are not moving backwards at all, are they? It's exciting. So, you know, again, you know, I've said this before, you know, ILP, XRP Ledger, the Ethereum network. I see all of these potentially flare, obviously having a two-way bridge between the two networks, becoming, you know, potentially financial protocols for the Internet of Value, adding to the current set of protocols that make up the Internet we have today. So very exciting stuff, seeing that go on for the financial payment system, and to see such names like the Reserve Bank of Australia making these moves. It's just enormous. I mean, I couldn't imagine 2 years ago something like this happening. So very exciting to see this. And then here's this from Michelle Bond, DC power broker and former Dodd-Frank contributor. Michelle Bond leaves Ripple and joins a crypto trade association in New York as CEO to ink the rules for Wall Street to conduct institutional crypto trading. Wishing Michelle Bond again a congratulations to her new role and on her new endeavor at that organization. And it will be exciting to see her help to construct any kind of pathway and opening doors for Wall Street institutionally to get into crypto trading. Cannot wait. Okay, moving on here. Things get pretty heavy and pretty specific, I feel like, here, too. I'm going to play some clips for you from Kristalina Georgieva, the managing director of the IMF. I'm going to play some clips from a clip from the BIS, and I want you to see another clip from a recent, it was either Saturday or Sunday I watched it, but I think it was yesterday, actually. But at any rate, the IMF held a live webinar, and basically or conference, and it involved many different people, including Jerome Powell, the gentleman from the Monetary Authority in Saudi Arabia, who also happens to be the president right now, the country that happens to be the president right now of the G20, which also is after financial inclusion and a new digital economy. So this is pretty exciting. Let me play these clips for you, and then we'll remark on them. Here we go with the first one.
The recovery is once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as we deploy massive stimulus to support a transformation in the economy. In other words, don't recover what we had before this crisis, do better.
Now, that's enormous right there. You remember the statement we've heard so many like Christine Lagarde say, the former IMF managing director, now the president of the ECB, never let a good crisis go to waste. The constant narrative here coming from the IMF is we are not going to return to the same old when this pandemic gets out of here. So keep listening.
Greener economy, one that is digitally enabled everywhere.
One that is digitally enabled everywhere, which says to me 5G, satellite technology, the underbanked in countries where they don't even have some of the current technologies we have now. You get them a cell phone and they're participating in the economy because they can have a digital wallet, they can have the whole bit from there, and they can jump in those countries that have been severely underbanked, or even in situations where, you know, the government is not a solid infrastructure, it really can't support the people of that region. This can jump them decades to the front of the line in financial inclusion. So it's pretty exciting stuff there. Now let's keep this going because it gets better. This is the part I think we've all been waiting for here, which is really Ripple partner wins in the trade finance sector with the Bank of International Settlements. Standard Chartered. Let's take a look at it. So here, let's listen to this clip right here.
The trade finance gap is particularly acute in emerging markets. Many such markets could greatly benefit from fintech solutions that leverage common standards.
Bingo. And let's go ahead and move now to the part where they announced the winners in this Trade Finance Tech Challenge. Let's go to about here, and I'll let it play for a minute. And it's going to announce several companies, but I'll stop on the one that's important here. These are all winners in the Trade Finance Tech Challenge.
We look forward to working with each of the winners in the months ahead. We invite you to visit the virtual booths of each of our winners to learn more.
Let me back this up. Bingo, there it goes, just a note away. If anybody remembers, was it Kahina Van Dyke, I believe it was, who went to Standard Chartered from Ripple to there, and Brad Garlinghouse had remarked that you're just a note away. So we have many winners in this tech challenge for connecting their tech and their fintech to the BIS for trade finance. One of the oldest areas of doing business ever since they've had a boat to be able to take goods across the water to another location. Pretty remarkable what we're looking at here. The BIS has got some winners on fintech and trade finance, and Standard Chartered, the Ripple partner, is one of them. There's a direct connection, indirectly, however you want to put it. For me, this is massive. We know the BIS has had an innovation hub, and this is starting to reveal even more about where this is all going here. And in the matter of trade finance, Standard Chartered is going to do big things connected to the BIS. So very, very excited about where this is going. Know that back end Ripple is all in this business. So let's keep this going here. Because I pointed this out the other day, and I wanted to really make another note of it because I don't think it's something that could really be overstated. For me, Ripple whale counts have spiked the past 6 months, with many in the high-tier brackets of XRP held. Since April, XRP holdings have increased. It shows here accounts from 100,000 to 1 million. By the way, if anybody wanted to send me that amount, I'll get you an address. Have increased from 14,005 to 17,003, and 1 million to 10 million have increased from 1,307 to 1,336, and 10 million plus have increased from 280 to 309. Now, I don't know about you, but personally for me, that is what I've been doing, is stacking my pennies next to everybody else's dollars. And, you know, I'm going to continue to do that for myself. Again, it's not financial advice, but that is what I'm doing. And I'm watching what the whales are doing out here, and I don't see them selling off. In fact, we see them accumulating. Now, another shot from this weekend here was the webinar that I was talking about earlier about public and private partnership offering solutions for cross-border payments, a direct conversation between Jerome Powell, again, the Monetary Authority of Saudi Arabia, who currently is the president of the G20 and holds that as a huge part of what their accomplishments are for this year in their term as presidency of the G20. So Kristalina Georgieva, and then a couple others that are there as well. Let me just play a couple minutes for you to show you how, again, from the clip I played before of Kristalina Georgieva talking about we're not going back, we're going forward. There is going to be new market infrastructure, new payment rails that we're moving to for this whole public-private cross-border relationship. And they have said it to our face. Now, when that day happens, I don't know, but they've made it abundantly clear that that day is going to happen. So that to me is extremely exciting, knowing the work that Ripple has done back end for not only their self as a company, but XRP the asset. Let me play this right here and let you hear this clip.
We have a fantastic panel and a topic that is gathering more attention, the future of cross-border payments. With digitalization of all aspects of our lives, here we are virtually connected, accelerated today by COVID-19, once a boring subject, many called cross-border payments plumbing. Now it takes center stage in policy making. We have a chance to improve cross-border payments with huge benefits, especially for many of the world's poorest people. And there is a pressing need to do so. At a time when technology is accelerating and changing our lives, it is allowing us to hold, work, and interact in a way that was not possible years ago. Cross-border payments still remain slow, opaque, costly, and inaccessible to part of the 1.7 billion people worldwide who are unbanked. Correspondent banks, those providing access to cross-border payments, are 22% fewer since 2011. And meanwhile, remittances still cost 7% on average, more than twice the target set by the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Now, fixing these shortcomings will require a concerted and coordinated global effort involving a variety of public and private actors. And it is urgent given the need to spur economic recoveries and counter fragmentation, particularly post-COVID-19. We must improve existing systems, and we must explore new ones, potentially taking advantage of central bank digital currencies. Coming up with new solutions could bring significant efficiency gains, but it could also affect monetary and financial stability. Widespread use of new forms of digital money could make it harder for country authorities to run independent monetary policy and control domestic financial conditions. And as we integrate new technologies, we reap off the benefits of doing so, we also must contain risks. And that can only be done through international cooperation to help us all understand the macro-financial effects of using digital money across borders.
make sure that all systems, old systems, new systems, operate with each other, foster common settlement infrastructure, and make solutions that benefit all countries and all people. At the IMF, we are committed to play our part to foster cooperation and bring together the future of cross-border payment systems.
I can tell you right now that is some amazing speech right there from Kristalina Georgieva from the IMF. This kind of verbiage and commitment to cross-border payments and new market infrastructure and public-private partnerships, and it is international cooperation, and that we are not going back to what we had before. This is a narrative that they are not retreating from, and in fact, they are leaning into this quite heavily. And I don't mind telling you, I'm very excited about it, because let me just skip ahead really quickly here just to show you the level of people that are there. And I'll just let this play for a second.
And this is
because you're going to see the full panel show up here in just about 2 seconds here. They're going to show. And it is remarkable. We're talking Jerome Powell, again, the head of the G20 right now, current president of Saudi Arabia. This is pretty remarkable. And there's your panel right there, Augustine Carstens from the BIS. And forgive me, I don't remember the lady's name up in the top right corner, but obviously a very, very important person to be a part of this conversation. And they go on to talk for the next 40 or 55 minutes here. And every one of them really talk about the fact that this is going to happen, and we do need a public-private partnership to offer these solutions, because they can't do it themselves, and they knew that all along. So pretty remarkable stuff where we're at this morning, and the takeaways for me, look, are really, you know, the BIS, Ripple Partner Standard Charter wins in the trade finance category along with some others, and the IMF really sitting down and revealing that they are leaning heavily into the public-private partnership for cross-border payments and the new financial payment rails and market infrastructure. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Head on a swivel out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pretty remarkable time to be alive and be invested in this space, I believe. Leave a comment below. Make sure you check out the comment section and the description box for all the deals that you may want or need, or links to anything that you may want or need. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.